Hey guys, how are you? Today is March 8th, and today we're gonna be doing some diamond painting. I'll show you how much I have so far. Any guessers on what it could be? To me, it kind of looks like a beach, but I don't know yet. I could be wrong, or it could be flowers. Somebody said it could be flowers on my TikTok channel. So let's do this. Today is March 8th, by the way. I'm just gonna use this one. My unicorn. Nope. Don't need two on there. So I'm gonna do something different from now on. Like, I'll still probably do the poems every so often, but I found a new site that I'm gonna give a try. It's just a bunch of short stories that people have published and stuff like that. So I'm going to read you the ones that I like. So let's do 939. And that's F. Okay, this short story is called Where the Water Meets the Sand by Mollie R. I love these blue trays, you guys. I love them a lot. Actually, I'm going to pause. Or not. I said... Okay, sorry about that. I wanted to get some water before we actually start. I drink a lot of Mio. Mio is really good. There's like a lot of vitamins and stuff in it, so that's why I drink it. Okay. So yeah, I thought it'll be something different, you know, other than the poems, so I know I'm not using my acrylic pen. It feels so awkward, but that's okay. I wanted to try it. Okay, my other sorry, let's restart that. My mother almost drowned me once. My pudgy fingers were wrapped around a sapphire, a blue glass jewel, cares to a smoothie century by a century of waves. I spied it resting on a dimple in the sand. I wonder at that shards, organs, and perhaps a pirate's goblet or perfume bottle of an exotic sunken princess. The slap rang in my ear before I felt the heat spread. I raised my hand to my face, too late to shield my straining cheek. She snatched my treasure from the sand where it had dropped and hurled it in a high arc back into the waves. My mother grasped my fingers. We never take gifts from the ocean, she hissed. I wiggled from her, hold her, and ran towards the ocean and that had swallowed my prize. My mother's arm looped around my waist, and she lifted me before I reached the line where the water meets the sand. I struggled against her iron grip, wailing as she howled me across the beach to our cabin. She dragged me to the claw-footed bathtub, abandoned in the garden, full of rain and fallen leaves. My reflection kissed me as she pushed my head under. Okay, I thrashed and choked down a mouthful of dirty water. My small fist beat the side of the tub. My lungs were scorching black specks multiplied in my vision. Right as the dots began more to a single darkness, my mother pulled me up by my hair. Her fingers bit the crescent moons into my shoulders. This is the ocean's gift, Annabeth. Where we never take gifts from the ocean. Do you understand me? She shook me until my head wobbled in air formation. We never take gifts from the ocean. My mother's grip loosened and she brushed my limp of hair from my face. I'm sorry. My sulking damped hers as she pulled me into embrace. Annabeth, she sighed, I'm sorry. Our silver of sand was littered with beautiful offerings from the ocean. Twice a day, the waves crept closer to my mother's home, and when they bashfully retreated, there would be a blush of pink shells and sapphires, of bleached driftwood, and a carpet of sea glass, transforming the beach into a stained glass mural. The locals whispered that my mother must be a sea witch or a mermaid to have enticed the ocean to leave her many presents. She ignored the gossip and the gifts. Every dawn she would walk to the water's edge and tip out the jar she used to collect her tears. Someday I will replace the entirety of the ocean, she told me. I asked why she stayed here on the ocean edge, and she said, for love, was her only reply. Okay. The ritual continued. The ocean left a violin and a seaweed of marbled coffin filled with pearls and snails and a golden sea turtle. When the sun awoke, my mother stepped these marvels and poured out her jar of tears. So with his gifts ignored, when I was 11, the ocean came to our door, asked for forgiveness. Her skin was translucent and flashed rainbows in the glinting sun. He was dressed in a brown suit he had borrowed from a corpse. I had to crane my neck to see his gray eyes. He was so beautiful, I nearly swallowed my tongue. Was less than solid. His fingers gently brushed mine, and I had an impression that were I to grip and then pull his skin and would slow off and he would spill onto the floor. Hold on, you guys can't see. Hello, he glimmered in the doorway. I was mesmerized into mobility. Droplets of water beaded up of my skin where he had touched me. He said he had passed me and poured himself into the kitchen chair. I was unsure of the etiquette for when the ocean has made himself a guest in your home. I scrambled for a polite gesture. I'm going to color back after. Okay, what would you like to drink? I asked. His eyebrow floated up. He nodded slowly. I filled a glass halfway from the water pump, then placed it in front of him. He peered and began to chuckle. I giggled and I giggled alongside him, but my cheeks blushed with shame. The ocean took a long drink of water. He held the glass to his lips, and his throat rolled his gloves. He replaced the glass on the table, brandishing it. And those aren't even. There we go. Okay. Banishing it with a grin. The glass was overflowing with water now, rivulets spilling down the sides. I looked at the glass and then the ocean. He woggled with his eyebrows. This time my laugh was genuine. Thank you for my drink. His teeth were a collection of pearls in a varied hues. The effect was oddly pleasing, his smile being like a garden made more beautiful by the diversity of its blooms. I should offer you something in return. I shook my head. What about a seahorse, a great black steed to ride throughout the waves? No? A little one then. I bit my lip and looked at the floor. Come now, every little girl wants a pony. Mama says we don't take gifts from the ocean. I said to my dirty toes. Did she now? Annabeth, my mother, threw my name like a harpoon, and she entered the room. She yanked me back, nearly throwing me to the floor. Eugenia, the ocean exhaled. Get out. I was just having a lovely chat with the leaf. Oh, Jeannie, how grand you are making me with your tears. You're luring me away. He grinned, indicating to the hollows of his cheek, I've brought you the gift of my love. Okay. I am not yours. Something under his pale skin and dove beneath the surface, dragging his smile with it. He pounded juicily, my beautiful Eugenia, look at your face, the cliff face. Do you truly hate me so? Leave my home now and never come back. Don't you wish to hear what I've brought you? Get out. His gray eyes pursued my plain face and scrawny frame. Such a beautiful daughter you have. I flushed crimson. My mother's hands tightened me on my shoulders, nails into crescent groove scars. Don't, she whispered. A crack in the stone, the ocean gleamed. Jeannie, I've come to atone. My mother leaned heavily on my shoulders. Annabeth, the ocean whispered conspiratorially, go to the window. I hesitated. Gently, I asked myself from under my mother's weight, though I feared she might not fail. I moved towards the window. Outside there was a desert. The silver fish and jellies and dolphins flopped pathetically on the exposed sand floor. On the edge, where the water once met the sand, there was a pile of nearly as tall as me. Bones, I gasped. Long bones, bleached bones, skull with a small teeth. A string of seaweed dripped from an eye of a socket, like an inky trail of tears. Your gift, Jeannie. You stole them away because you were jealous. What do you think of this story so far? I think it's intense, but it's really good. I like it. Because I also like stories like these too, so. Okay, the ocean shook his head remorsefully. No, Eugenia, they wanted to come. It's not my fault. They didn't have the strength to come home. He advanced towards my mother languidly. His stormy eyes were torturous. Jeannie, I miss your skin. Slipping and sliding. Jeannie, you are my moon. You draw me near, you push me away. I am endlessly under your control. The fish gasped. They're dying, I cried. The ocean traced the air of my mother's jaw, a cliff face created by the endless flow of water. He leaned his face close to hers. I am your king, and you are my goddess. Her swallow beneath created ripples that radiated across his skin. Eugenia, he signed to her. I brought them home. I've brought our children home. The crash broke them apart. The glass had hit the wall satisfactorily hard. I am dedicated to the falling sea of life. They're dying, I said. And the ocean narrowed his gray eyes at me. Annabeth, said my mother like a prayer. The ocean turned to her. He was weeping, leaking. Water dripped from his eyes and his ears, his nostrils. It oozed his skin. Take my gift, he pleaded. Forgive me, come back to me. My mother was shaking. I slipped into her fingers. Jeannie, trembled the ocean. Do you remember? It's like flying. I will never forgive you. I could take her. He spat. I could send a wave and drag her out. My mother's hand tightened around me. But you won't. Why? The ocean quacking, vibrating with a swirl. Disobedient water. My mother let go of my hand. She had stepped closer to the ocean and rested her fingers delicately on his cheek. His love was reflected back to him in her eyes. I understood. She stayed on the ocean floor for love, and love of the ocean kept her near. This pen is alright, but I really like my acrylic pen. It's just in my bedroom right now, and I'm too lazy to go get it. I'm really liking this story so far. I don't know about you guys, but I know I am. Okay. Love for her daughter kept her far. She was mixed tears with the ocean. She stood on the border of the water meets the sand, and the waves kissed the tips of her toes in the lover's hateful equilibrium. I was not the first gift she took from the ocean, but it was the first she would not allow him to take back. You will leave now, said my mother to the ocean, because I am your moon and I'm willing to tell you to go. Eugenia said the ocean as the roaring flood crooked his jaw. The endless rip of his ocean skin and out he cascaded. The riptide swirled at my feet. My mother's embrace held me steady as I buried my face in her shoulder. The cabin shuddered. The beams were breaking, crashing. Things were wriggled wound around my calves, and the gummed at my skin. We were caught in a whirlpool, drowning and suffocated. I opened my mouth to scream. Annabeth. I opened my eyes. The house was still standing. We were dry in the ocean where it belonged, and the bones were gone. Annabeth said to my mother, once you have flown in the ocean. She clutched my arms. Suddenly, her eyes wild. The ocean is deceptive. It is so much deeper than you can ever fathom. I brushed her hair from her cheek, where we never take gifts from the ocean because the ocean demands gift in return. She pressed her hand against mine and noted that she turned away from the ocean from me. Her face was once again stone. When I turned 18, I left the cabin by the water and moved inland as far as I could go, where the seas are made of grass. My mother remained on the shore. She pours her tears into the ocean. An act of mutilation, an act of divination. The hateful lovers' endless dance, the ocean and his moon. Where was I? Oh yeah. I often think those weeping skulls, my brothers and my sisters grinning with elation as they fly through the bottomless ocean. My mother held my head and underwater. Once I learned my lesson. I never take gifts from the ocean. This was my mother's gift to me. So what do you think of that story? Let me know what your thoughts are. And if you want me to do more stories, which I probably will be for a little while. Take a break from the poems, you know. And then hopefully I find some other ones. But that one was a really good story. I really liked that one. But anyways, that is it for this video. I am gonna let you go because I gotta give somebody I gotta call a few people, so I just wanted to do this and work on it a little bit more, which I will be. I'll work on it a little bit more today, obviously. Oh yeah, I may actually be able to work on my butterfly again pretty soon, because my mom, she actually found a new job, to you know, say it. So I'll probably be back in the office working on Diamond Art Club's butterfly as well as this one. I really want to see what this one is gonna be, you know. So, and if I like mystery kits, I will probably end up getting more at one point, because I know yesterday I placed a really big order with DIY digital diamond art, so because I can. It's not really it is a big order and it isn't. Like I ordered some paintings and some stickers and stuff, and I'll be showing you that when I get it. But that's the only thing I ordered, and I'm waiting for stuff from AliExpress, so once I get those, I'll probably show you that as well. And hopefully I'll be back tomorrow with another story. So yeah. Bye guys, thank you guys so much for watching.